All right, Judah Vision subscribers, welcome to what should be the final segment of this little mini series that we're doing today on the Mark of the Beast and these portable altars, these retablos ex voto devotional paintings done by this fellow Matt Cooper, fully devoted to Amun-Ra. And Amun-Ra is who they were worshiping in Ezekiel, which is the Bible book we've been kind of paralleling with here. Again, go back and read the whole book of Ezekiel, and it will be opened up to you knowing about the face of the ox and of the face of the man and the ox and the lion and the eagle and all the things we saw in these portable retablos that these horrible people that would become gods would carry into war and take communion. I'm sure when they were taking that communion, they were eating probably the flesh of the dead, their sacrifices as they consecrated these altars. And again, this Matt Cooper, we're going to see a little art exhibit that he did at Fittingly Small Works Gallery, since this is a small little showing of work that he did there. Again, this is on his very own website. And this is a little dark work, but here we see retablos. We see the 4-in-1 imagery. The four demons are on the outside of this retablos, which is in the second image. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, and then the circle in the middle, bringing up these 5 demons that they talk about Ezekiel over and over again. Again, we talk about this altar, and that is usurped by man to become God, and they talk about it in Revelation. And Revelation it even talks about the consecration by these saints, the blood of these saints on this altar. But again, here's this 4-in-1 imagery in the works themselves, and here's the Knights Templar cross, the Grail. It's another form of this retablos. So unbelievably, we have that imagery just in the scattering of artwork here. And here we can see a little better because again, this is really dark artwork, but you can see the cross, and then here again the Taco Bell imagery, where they showed us the quote-unquote power of $1, unlocking the power of $1. And remember, these are the keys of Solomon that go in the center of here, as told per the Goetia or the Gosha, however you want to, the keys of Solomon, the codes, the keys of Solomon go in here. The keys to the bottomless pit. But again, look, this is the Taco Bell imagery. There's a fingerprint which was scanned in the beginning by that monk that unlocked the power of $1. So we see the Taco Bell imagery. We see the Sobek imagery. The word Saw comes from this forerunner deity to the sun god Amun-Ra. And these teeth kind of represent his mouth, the Sobek. Forerunner to the sun god. Over here we see the 8-pointed star of Ishtar. We see a iPad, which again I've told you there's a black mirror used for scrying and potentially somebody sleeping or dead or something here. Very creepy imagery. We have some sort of one of their, looks like a Franciscan monk of some sort. Again, these are the people who've been carrying this technology of the pharaohs, these pharaonic rites through time over about the last 800 or 900 years, starting with Saint Francis, who went back and got them from Egypt. You can read all about it if you like. And again, here's the bottom of the cross, shows a little more of this Taco Bell imagery. So that is a retablos, and here is same thing as I've told you in past episodes, that this barbed quatrefoil is an actual paper altar as well. So here's Satan, here's an Aleph, the Hebrew letter for A, which again, that Aleph was used to be a bull with horns in Aramaic. It was a little symbol. The letter was actually the shape of a bull's head with horns. So that Aleph represents the ox on the altar. Again, an eagle, and we see that on our supposed great seal of the United States. Here we see the E-America imagery, and when this dollar folds up, we've seen that the Taco Bell commercial shows us the dollar folds up, and it actually says E-America on it when it folds up on the front side. We've got more of this imagery of this Maravich. See here you see the little red abstract pieces that usually form another bigger piece of work, which we've seen over and over again in Matt Cooper's work on the dollar bill folding retablos, on the woodcut, and Sir Francis Bacon's New Atlantis. And it looks like here's some sort of a homage to Malevich, however you want to say his name, which he was the artist who helped kicked off something that killed a lot of people in history, if you'll look that up, but I don't want to get lost here. Again, it says 1916, which is right around the time that this guy was prolific. And it represents another artist who helped do this alchemical changing times. And as we can see, this is called the idea guy in a lot of these paintings. Again, here's more homage to Malevich. Here's the cloud and the dollar bill. And this is Satan using the bathroom on your brain, which is very apt symbology for what they're doing here. And here's again the four angels, represents the 4 and 1. And this one here, you can go back in there. I believe it's their Art Blitz interview by Matt Gleason, and he'll tell you how this gentleman is a member of the Freemason Society, Freemasonic Society. And he also explains that it's a self-portrait of himself and that this gentleman himself is a Freemason. And it looks like he's on a mission here from his own home to bring this golem back. And here's this Freemason imagery again. He admits on that episode 41 of Art Blitz with Matt Gleason. Again, episode 41 and 4 and 1 symbology, episode 41. So even in these low-key YouTube channels, and I think there's like 500 views and 20% of those came from my channel as I've watched. Again, there's pre-programming even in those little YouTube channels that we watch. Here again, we see the Great Seal. This is the Star of David, again, 6 points total, and that's the Tetragrammaton, which brings back the golem. And this is, again, the Nikisi Nikande figure. There's a bunch of these, I'm sure you're not surprised to learn, at Yale University in their museum collection. And you see, it looks like some dollar bills and kind of more homage to Malevich. And I found a connection between this Marevich, and to the Merovingian kings of the Rennes-le-Chateau story and the Henry Lincoln story. So strangely, this other painter also could be in the bloodline of these Merovingian kings who believe that this king of the world will rise up from their bloodline. This is where the King Arthur story came from, where they believe this great king is going to come back and take the sword from the stone. And again, remember that the Excalibur, which is the Sword in the Stone story, the Arthurian version of this Knights Templar story, is right next to Luxor, showing the historic relationship between the Freemasons, and that is Freemason imagery for sure, and the Knights Templar, who are shaking hands on top of the Freemasonic hierarchy pyramid, showing their allegiance to each other, which is why those casinos, supposed themes casinos, are right next to each other. But as you can see, there's some sort of darkness in the background, and it looks like America takes a turn for the worse. All the seal imagery is gone. But again, this shows you the advanced knowledge of the Taco Bell dollar folding trick. Again, it's showing you that this thing folds, and it's probably as many folds as it takes to fold your dollar bill into that altar. Again, the Nikisi Nikande figure, and this, he calls him a contemporary Nikisi Nikande. And I want to bring to your attention, if you've read my book Back Upright, you realize that the story of Jacob's Ladder was the same story of becoming God. And that simply the story itself, because in the end, Jacob's pillow, he lays his head on this pillow in this place that's called Bethel, and it's called Light and changed to Bethel, which means God. But it's called Light first, and now we see this Nikisi Nikande devotional figure stabbed with light, and you see he's on top of a pillar, Jacob's pillar. So this is that technology coming to everybody. This symbolizes them giving that to everybody. But again, and it also confirms some of the things I said in my book, which in the reviews on Amazon, people said they were strange translations of the Bible or strange views on these stories. These are the black and white stories. Take the words as I say, the little words before and after the word Christian, and the label that you call yourself, and just read your Bible, and it'll become very clear to you. This is absolutely mind-numbing. So in closing, I've got one more amazing revelation to show you out of this. But here's the trifold. Remember, there's a trinity, and I couldn't remember. His name was Hermes Trismegistus. thrice great, or a thrice great magician is what that means. And Hermes is, again, this Mercury figure who was a Greek god, but he is Thoth, another version of Thoth, and it's the same pharaonic magic. But I want to bring this to your attention, and clearly Matt Cooper's, these are his pamphlets for this exhibit. And look at this. You have the Templar cross, you have your little retablos that's now in your pocket, your dollar folded up, as Taco Bell told you. And then again, your 4-in-1 imagery. And I wish I could read some of this smaller stuff. I can't find any of this online. I wish I had actually had a brochure. I actually got a leaf handout of the BirdLife Soiree from Delano Tower. I found it in a book. I had stashed it. I forgot about it. And that's really cool. I'll show it to you someday. And it shows you that I'd been there. And I don't know if they still have the exhibit there or not. I'll have to call and check. Or one of you can and check and show me. But drum roll, please. I'm going to show you that this imagery is absolutely incredible, because it even shows you, just like on the Seal of Solomon, on the Great Seal, all these things, they show you exactly how to connect to the other side. Again, even in these Poussin and Tenier's paintings, they allude to this mirror imagery. And again, look, here we go. This says black, backwards and then forwards. Square, backwards and forward. Black cross, backwards and forward, and black flag. And I want you to understand that throughout time, black flag has, including an insecticide or insect repellent you can buy that kills them on contact, they claim, has always represented the death of somebody. Again, remember, black flag, that's what the Al-Qaeda, or not the Al-Qaeda, but ISIS had a black flag similar to this. Again, if you look at the Order of Skull and Bones, throughout time, their pirate flag was also a black flag. But again, look at this mirror imagery. He even mirrors the Small Works Gallery logo at the bottom. So not only does he have the entire retablos in this, showing you how the mark of the beast is coming to a city near you, and it's in your pocket already, people. That's your dollar folded up and consecrated by the incident that was where the Great Seal is, where this darkness now resides, and this Jesus again on the cross, eliminating God. But unbelievable. Here's where we'll wrap this up, and I wanted to wrap this up with this photo of this dupe who shot all those people. Here's advanced knowledge of Stephen Paddock gambling. And I'm going to show you that this is the CCTV captured image that they tried to sell us as this guy gambled in on the casino floor of Mandalay Bay. But look what it says at the bottom. It says Valley of the Dry Bones. That's the name of this painting. And as I'm reading through, I read through my Bible completely over and over again, and every time I get another layer of information. The Bible is absolutely incredible once you start having some information. But I want to show you, before I decode this painting a little bit, that a vision of the Valley of Dry Bones itself comes from the book of Ezekiel. People, this is more confirmation that we're absolutely right here at Judah Vision. We don't know if this will come in 10 years, 20 years, 2 years. I think it's going to come a little quicker, this mark of the beast. But here's more confirmation for you members of Judah out there who understand the Bible and confirmation. Vision of the Valley of Dry Bones. The vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, or the Valley of Dry Bones, or the vision of dry bones, is a prophecy in chapter 37 in the book of Ezekiel. Again, Valley of the Dry Bones. That's something that just comes from Ezekiel, from this vision of this prophet. And it says, the chapter details a vision revealed to the prophet Ezekiel, conveying a dreamlike, realistic, naturalistic depiction. It was a depiction of, again, these guys navigating or usurping the power of God and using these dark angels who have replicated God's throne. In his vision, the prophet sees himself standing in the valley full of dry bones. He's commanded to carry a prophecy before him. The bones connect into human figures. Then the bones become covered with tendon tissues, flesh, and skin. Then God reveals the bones to the prophet as the people of Israel in exile and commands the prophet to carry another prophecy in order to revitalize these human figures. So these people come back to life. They return to the land of Israel, and this is in the end of Revelation, this is when we all come back, the good guys come back, but again, everything on the dark side is stolen and molested, and this is them, I believe, to start out with, them bringing back this Nikisi Nikundai guy. Is very important to them, this golem, but again, this will be passed out to all of us, this little kit, and you'll be made to, I'm sure, say that there's one God, including Jesus, and that is not true. Again, that's theosophy, that's bringing the world under a coexistence, and this is what that coexistence is going to be. And then if you don't do it, we'll have to scroll through a couple of old videos here. It will clearly say, as this other, clearly says in Matt Cooper's paintings, that again, I've mentioned this, that you will either join or die, it says. And here's Ishtar, that 8-pointed star worship. And again, with the great seals, there's no reason this is on here. Look here, look here. Unbelievable. This is imagery from alchemy and black magic. Unbelievable. Again, here's the portable altar. This one of the emperors would take it into war when they'd go to kill people and consecrate it with even more blood and more of the dead. They'd sacrifice people and put pieces of them in that little thing. And again, here's their dupe, Valley of the Dry Bones from Ezekiel. Why does this guy know your Bible better than you do? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, this guy's reading his Bible in depth all the time. Are you? Are we, Judah? We need to be. And as you go back through the prophets, the Old Testament's going to come to life for you. And now you understand why your preachers have not been teaching this. And now for the grand finale. Here's a dupe who took advantage of the mirror trick. And in the future, I'm going to show you how Sirhan killed Bobby Kennedy through this same technology. And I'm going to show you how it was worked into the Monarch program and how they were using magic mirrors there as well. But look at this. This is his Matt Cooper's Valley of the Dry Bones painting. And if you'll look at the detail on the face, and I believe this was painted in 1314. It was for sure painted before this event, long before it took place. So this is an old picture that they released for sure. Because look, even the face, even though this guy's a skeleton, just because this guy zoomed out and on a little low quality CCTV camera, you can see that the facial expression is almost identical. He was drawing this dude. Look who's in exactly the same pose. And he's in the pose, mind you, of this Aleph with this machine. Look, he's in this Aleph shape. That's exactly as it is in the Shepherds of Arcadia. Now we'll decode this part. Again, his motivation was the dollar. Here's one of those Nikisi Nikundai nails. It's a devotional, and there's the dollar bill imagery, which again is courtesy of Warren Delano. Franklin Warren Delano added that. And again, there's a tower right behind the one from which the gunman shot, in which I found all these clues, which led to this painter, because his wife, again, put a knife in the hand of one of her bird people. Again, in Ezekiel, it talks about all these bird people, the birds, fowls of the earth coming, or the fowls of the heavens coming and eating the blood and guts of the people who committed these crimes. You'll have to go back and read it for yourself. But look at this. He shows the all-seeing eye, which is on the Great Seal above the pyramid, and he's back. He's bringing this guy back. Look, there's the 5 beams coming off of that, representing these stars falling from the sky. This cross here, if you read this Blue Apples by, I believe his name was gosh, I'm not even going to say, but this Blue Apples book that I've been referring to in these videos, there's people who actually, because you can see, like from Australia, you can see this iron cross, and there's people who actually do this 4-in-1 retablos altar ceremony with actual stars, you guys, which is incredible. Here is these little flowers like the Pope Francis, like St. Francis had, and we've seen in other paintings the sickle cutting these little flowers in Neo-Genesis, the sun god cutting the little flowers. I'm assuming we represent these little flowers in this blood. And I want you to notice this background. The sky is done in the same exact color as the one from which the gunman shot. Here, see that? And then the Aleph. It's all there. I mean, you should go through these. I'm no complete expert in any of these areas, but I'm a human, and I can see stuff. I know what I'm looking at. I'm no dummy, and neither are you. This stuff is coming to you. This stuff is coming to you soon. But again, let me show you one final piece of imagery here. This soap here, I wondered for a long time what this was. This is Matt Cooper washing his hands. And again, remember Matt Cooper in his hard work painting here. In his hard work painting, that's his self-portrait. That's his self-portrait, and he's in the same exact shape. This Aleph is the shooter, kind of saying, I did it. Kind of an admission to you. I shot all these people. Unbelievable imagery, and I'm glad you joined Judavision today. If you like this kind of discovery, and it's everywhere, once you learn a little, there's people that private message me all the time, and these videos get taken down almost as fast as I can put them up, but I'm going to keep putting them up just as fast as you can watch them. And Matt, I told you guys that we were going to get this stuff coming hot and heavy if you had any of these videos removed from YouTube or influenced that in any way. So we're within our rights. We're within fair use. We appreciate YouTube for letting us put these on here. They're coming quick though, man. These discoveries are going to be coming quick. And you did this. I told you this. I said, if you cause me problems electronically, this is where we're going to be. And I'm sure you're trying to keep this from the masses, Matt. But enough people have already seen this that I think you know, someone who knows a lot about alchemy, you also know that when these great things of change happen, great events of change, changing an entire population, they're thinking, certainly God was going to alert his people. Didn't you think that, Matt? You know this Bible really well. Certainly you saw some discrepancies in what you've been taught in your Gnostic teachings. But anyways, thanks for joining Judavision. Stay with me, man. Stay close, because these things are going to come faster. Now that we got this iPad thing figured out, we're going to just do shows anywhere, and I'm going to try to just give you the information as I discover it. There's a lot of catching up to do, because again, I could probably do about 8 or 10 hours ahead of this. But join Judavision, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know right when I upload these great shows. God bless you. May the Lord be with you.